So one of the biggest safety issues your car can present is malfunctioning in the suspension components. Sitting third in queue only behind tires and maybe the person behind the wheel, suspension, as its name heavily implies, is what suspends your vehicle safely off the ground. And the ground really isn't the hip place to be at 65 miles per hour, 104.6 kph. So the first and easiest step to checking your suspension is what I like to call the bounce test. Stand at the front or the back of the vehicle and push down with most of your weight and quickly let go. If it bounces more than 3 times, it's probably time for shocks. After the bounce test, go ahead and lift the vehicle and properly support it on jack stands. For more information on this, see my video on how to jack up a car in the top right corner. It's important that the vehicle is stable, as you will need to push and pull on the vehicle to test properly. If possible, spin the wheel and listen for any noises. A constant scraping noise can be pretty normal, but if it's excessive or very hard to turn, that may be an issue as well. Now push and pull on the left and right sides of the wheel. This will check the tie rods. It should be solid with no movement. Then follow suit on the top and the bottom of the tire. This will check for the ball joint movement. Up and down should have no movement as well. But another place to push and pull is diagonally. This can check for wheel bearing play along with spinning the tire, but for more on that, check out my video on wheel bearings. So while the tire is off the ground, it's actually a great time to go ahead and check out the tire itself. Make sure there's no uneven wear, no nails, or no goose eggs sticking out. Checking lower ball joints on some vehicles can be a little more involved, but easy if you have a pry bar. Just jack up on the control arm while your vehicle is secured on a stand and pry right here between the control arm and the spindle. Again, there should be no play or no movement. Another thing to do is to take your pry bar or some type of bar and actually stick it under the tire and pull up and down on the bar, and this will kind of achieve the same effect. And we will end off with probably the most common cause of suspension noise on vehicles, at least that I've experienced, which is sway bar and its components. Usually just a visual inspection is enough to tell if they're bad, but you may have to actually push and pull on the bar and check the links. But I'd also recommend familiarizing yourself with the bushings and check them with a pry bar as well. Be sure to check out part 2, where we'll go into more depth on things like springs, struts, and CV axles. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks guys. Woof.